Hello guys, this is another wonderful day. Today as our second tutorial, we want to teach on how to use our calculator working on fractions, mixed fractions, improper fractions, proper fractions, and even converting to decimal numbers. And so we are going to start from the basis on how to do all these conversions, and as time goes on we'll dig deeper into how to use calculator to even giving the question to the calculator will solve it without performing enough functions to it, and you get your answers right. And so stay tuned as we come on your way in the second tutorials on how to work on fractions, and it's going to be a cool one. And so stay tuned to the end, and you haven't subscribed to our channel. This is a FOS Forum TV. FOS Forum TV. Just subscribe. When you watch, you share the link to put together by subscribing to the channel, and also share the materials to the students who don't have access to. And let me chip this one in. And here there's going to be a very talk on how to use calculator. It's going to be a FOS IT talk on how to use calculator, how to work on Microsoft package, how to deal with Excel, how to prepare a professional PPT, and it's going to be a very big package for every school. It's going to be a high school talk to every high school. So today is to use our calculator dealing with fractions, and stay tuned. We are coming on our way. Let's get deeper and let's get together into the session, okay? So let's go to the section where we all use the calculator to solve fractions, converting fraction from improper fraction to proper fraction, improper fraction to mixed fraction, and a mixed fraction back to improper fraction, and also converting fraction, which is a proper fraction, to decimal numbers. So stay tuned, let's get in there, and we do it together. So today we want to learn how to use our calculator in solving fractions. Today we want to talk about fractions. So when we talk about fractions, we have improper fractions, mixed fractions, proper fractions, and also to decimal numbers. And so today we want to learn how to convert improper to mixed fraction, and from mixed fraction back to improper fractions. And so we want to know the keys first, and then we look at how we can convert them. So the first thing we have to know is the fraction key, and this is the fraction key. You can see on it. This is the fraction key. Now when you press on it, you will see the fraction on it, which is the numerator and the denominator on it. Now with this key, we can input any fraction on the calculator. Now the first thing that we want to know again is we want to know the mixed fraction key. Mixed fraction key. Very good. So the mixed fraction key is to go to shift. This is shift. When you go to shift and you go to the fraction key, it has to give you the mixed fraction key, which the whole number comes here and the fraction attached to it. This gives us the mixed fraction key. And then the next thing that we just want to know is also going to how to convert. Now we know the fraction key to be this key, which is this one. That's the fraction key. And the next one is we know the mixed fraction key, which is the shift fraction key, give us the mixed fraction key. Now how can we convert between the improper to mix and a mix back to improper? Now we have a key, a special key called this one. This key is a S, this is X to D. Okay, and so now it will convert to and fro. This key is the key that we are going to use to do other conversions. This key. So when you input a fraction in it, if you want to convert, this is the key that converts the fractions. So in our sheet that we have here, we have some questions on it. This was a direct copy from Osmo series, the book I wrote in the 2015. So when you look at the example 1, is that change the following improper fractions to mixed fractions and vice versa. So number 1 says that 23/3. So we need to convert this into mixed fraction. So the first thing you have to do, sometimes let me show the two ways, but when it is getting tougher, it's easier to use the fraction key than going by the normal division sign. Now when you type 23 divided by 3 equal sign, it gives you the fraction key, which is the improper fraction key. Fine, you can convert straight from here. And so the answer is 23/3, as the question says. But the question says that I convert into mixed fractions. So what do you do? Now, how to convert into mixed fraction? The first thing you have to do is to go to Shift. So when you press Shift, then you come to this key. Let me show very well. So this is the key that we use to do the conversion. Now, when you press on the key, it converts the improper to mixed fraction. So now we have a 7 whole number 2/3, which is the mixed fraction now. Now, if this is an objective test, you don't need to worry yourself much on it. You just straightforward to get the answer done. So this is mixed fraction now. Sometimes it helps you to also know the operations behind, the process behind converting the improper to mixed fraction. And so this gives the idea that 3 down there times 7 gives 21 plus the 2 up there gives 23, and all over the 3 again gets the questions back. That's great. Now, if we want to convert the mixed fraction back to improper fraction, the second thing that we have to do is to go to Shift again. And so when we go to Shift, we'll press Shift, and we'll go back to the converting key again, and it gives us back the question, which is 23/3. Now, if you want to convert it to decimal, the only thing you don't use the Shift anymore, because we want to convert it to decimal numbers. And so what we have to do is we just want to have a point in the answer. And so we don't use Shift anymore, but we'll go straight forward to the key, and when you press on it, it gives a 7.66666. It ranks to that level. This is the decimal point. And so depend the kind of the answer your question demands, whether in an improper form, mixed fraction form, or decimal form, your calculator will help you to get the answer done very well. And so that's the one portion that we have studied now. And so I just want to because the first point was 23 divided by 3, which gives this. Now you can also use direct the fraction key, which is going to the fraction here, and you have this fraction sign here. You put 23 and you use the replay key to come down to enter the 3, and when you press equal sign, it gives you your 23 back. And on those here, your question and your answer seems to be the same, but the answer is not what the question demands. It demands a mixed fraction. So what do? You go to the Shift key, and you go to the conversion key to convert it to what the answer demands. Very good. So we go to the next one. Is also gives us 33/5, and quickly you can use any of them. You go to your fraction key, you go to enter 33, and you use the replay key to come down to enter the 5. Going equal sign will give you this. Then if you want to convert, you go to the Shift, which is the shift here, and you come to the conversion key and it converts it for you, which is the 6 whole number 3/5. That's good. So it keeps on. You can use this to solve so many questions. Now, sometimes you can be given a question that has improper fraction in it. Like you have mixed fractions question form. Now let's take this for example. When you come here, we have this. So there are addition and subtraction of fractions. We don't need to be, this is the basis of whatever we are learning. And when you have the basis, it helps you to understand how the operations are done. So the next thing we want to do is we just want to input this. So this gives a whole fraction on the 0.2. We don't want to use the 0.1. We want to use the 0.2 to do the input. So going to the 0.2, what we have to do is use the fraction key, which is the fraction key is going shift, and fraction key gives improper fraction. Now you enter 2 and you use the replay key to control. So when you go to the right replay key, since you have to enter the 1, you use the replay key, come down to enter the 3, and use the replay key to go here and you enter the minus sign, and you go shift, and the fraction key again gives you the improper mixed fraction key to be able to enter your values. Now the 1 replay key and a 1 replay key down, and 3, which is that one is 4. There we go. Now when you go to equal sign, it gives you 13/12, which is still improper fraction. Now when you see improper fraction, you can convert it to mixed fraction because it's easy to do. Now when you 13/12, which is still improper fraction. Now when you see improper fraction, you can convert it to mixed fraction because it's easy to do. Now when you go to the shift and you come to the conversion key, it will convert it to one whole number 1/12, and that's very simple. And if you want to convert it back to improper fraction, you go to the shift sign, back to the conversion key, it sends it back to you for you to handle that. So that's the easier way to handle your fractions to mixed fraction to improper to mixed fraction. And even if you want to go to the decimal, it's easy to, you don't use shift, but you go to the key and it converts it to a decimal for you. It's a very simple like that. Now we just want to get more difficult questions on this, and we'll see how we can handle that. This all is coming from Osmo series. If you have chance to get a copy of this book, it will help you. We have everything breakdown, and so it's easy to use it to learn more about how to use your calculator, assisting your study in mathematics. And so we just want to go this is division of fractions. Now it's easier to go by this, and when we try the first one, it says that perform the following operations. We just want to pick the first one, and as you learn the first one, it helps you to do more. So the first thing we can see, this one is mixed fraction. So we need a mixed fraction key, and this is also mixed fraction. We need a mixed fraction key. So the first thing you have to do is to go shift to the to the fraction key, gives a mixed fraction. You enter 3, use the replay key, 1 replay key down, 3 replay key right. Then you enter division sign. You use shift fraction key, and it gives you the mixed fraction key to enter your values. 2 right replay key, 1 down replay key, and 3. Then you go to right replay key, you enter equal sign. So when you enter the equal sign, you have 10 over 7. This is improper fraction. Now you go to the shift, coming back to the conversion sign, convert it to mixed fraction for you, which is one whole number, 3 over 7, and it's very simple to handle. It's very good. So this is the easy way to convert, and easy to convert to decimal as well by using your converting key to convert it to decimal, and it's very good to do when you are working around mathematics. Now we want to take the last aspect of this. This is a higher numbers that you need to input. So we have order of operation, which is the board mass. Sometimes we do bed mass, where O tend to be E, which is the exponential. So we have the bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Now when you have this to handle, it seems to be little technical to handle this, but it's not difficult for anyone who is even don't have much understanding about mathematics. You can handle this. Now, how are you going to input all this on your calculator to get the rightful result? The first thing you need to do, because you have, this is a division, so you need a greater bar. Now let's look at this. You need this. This is the big division sign before you have the fractions on it. So all these fractions are dividing all these fractions. Now the first thing you have to do is to go to fraction key. Now when you go to the fraction key, you have the upper and the denominator and the numerator. Now when you have this, you need to go to fraction key again. So now we have fraction key again. So the first thing you have to do is to just enter. So 1, replay key down, and you go 6, and right replay key. Then you enter your multiplication sign. Then you go to shift key again, 1, replay key down, and you have 12. Then right replay key as fraction key, 1, replay key down, 3, right replay key, times fraction key again, 2, replay key down, you have 3. Then you bring your replay key down again to be able to get the denominator's fractions. So under down here, you need to go to fraction key again, then a 7, replay key down, 12, replay key right, times fraction key, 1, replay key down, 3, replay key right, minus fraction key, 5, replay key down, 6, replay key right, times fraction key, 1, replay key down, and 3. Now you are done with all this. Now when you are done with this, you go to equal sign. That is the equal sign. Let me show the equal sign. Equal sign. And when you press the equal sign, you have this, which is as negative 17 over 6, which is a fraction. Now I have the breakdown on here. So when you do that, you get this. So anyone that gets my book will be able to access all this. This is 17 over 6. Now when you get a 17 over 6, it's improper fraction. You need to convert it into a proper fraction, a mixed fraction rather. And so you have to go to the shift key to the conversion key to get two whole number, 5 over 6. And so this is the answer here, and it's very simple. It's the same thing that you can use to deal with the second question, which is this one. This is the second question. Now this has mixed fractions in it already. So I just want us to try that one also so that we know more, and at your leisure time you need to practice more and you can be even faster because I'm teaching. That's why I am slow in dealing with it. And so the next thing you have to do is to go to the fraction key. The fraction key, and you go to shift fraction key. That access you the mixed fraction key. So you enter 1, right replay key. You go to 1, replay key down, 2, right replay key, and you go to plus. Then this one, the next one is also a mixed fraction. So you need to go to shift fraction key to be able to enter the value, which is 1, right replay key, 1, replay key down, and 4, replay key right. Now the next one is minus operation sign, and also mixed fraction again. So you need to go to shift fraction key, then you go to 2, replay key right, you enter 1, replay key down, you enter 2, replay key right, then you go to times, and this is not a mixed fraction, it's a fraction, so you go to fraction key direct, then you enter 1, replay key down, and at 4, and this finish in the numerator. And you need to go to the denominator by going to the replay key down to send down. And the first one is a fraction, not a mixed fraction. So we just go to fraction, which is the fraction key, and you enter 1, replay key down, 3, replay key right, times fraction key. And the next one is just a fraction. So fraction key was 1, replay key down, and 2, replay key right, plus the next is a fraction, not mixed fraction. So you go to fraction key, 1, replay key down, 6, and you go to replay key right, times, that's a fraction, so go to fraction key, and you enter 1, replay key down, and 2. Now you are done with it. So what you have to do is to go to equal sign. So when you go equal sign, it gives you 17 over 2. And so the 17 to shift, and we go to the converting key to convert it as 8 whole number 1 over 2, which is the key and the final answer for this. And so you can enter a lot of questions depending on how you understand it. So this is how it goes. So you need to take your time to learn how to enter the fractions and also how to convert the fractions. And so today is just a topic on the real number system, where we are taking the rational numbers alongside the operation sign. So when any question that is in form of fraction, and you'll be able to work on them by knowing your fraction keys. That's a mixed fraction key, and also knowing how to convert the fractions is very important. So depending on the answer, your calculator will help you to get the rightful answer to use. And this is very, very important in the objectives. When you are doing objective tests, it helps you. But when you practice it more, you'll be able to use it. You'll be able to use it faster than somebody who is not used to calculator. You see, using calculator, most of the times we go for our calculators when it is examination time. Examination time that you are looking for where your calculator is, but you need to every day you are learning mathematics. It has to be with you. You use it, let it be your teacher to verify answers for you. And when you are used to it, it's easier to understand the concept of mathematics, how even the board mass and the bed mass operate. When a division meets multiplications, additions, which one's supposed to be solved first, how the procedure goes is very important. Now, on the last aspect of this, we just want to learn how to convert numbers, run up decimal numbers. It's very important because this is also under as part of real number system. You can be asked to convert numbers, conversion of numbers. We bring this. I just want to teach you how to convert. So this is approximating and rounding up decimal numbers to given number places. So that's, we know the DP is a given number places. Now I have a way of dealing with the MS calculator, ES and ES plus, but I don't have MS here, so I don't want to go there and teach you more about MS. Now when you go here, I want to teach only for the ES plus, and those that get the book can also do with MS and ES calculators and other calculators. The book has all this. So the first thing you have to do, if you want to convert any number, the first thing you have to do is to enter all the numbers. And when you are done entering the numbers, it's easy to convert them into what you want to. So now let's pick this, for example. I want to use only the D here, so that we can do. Is that a 45.695412? It's a 1, 2, and a 4. This is what we have, and the question says that we need to convert. Yes, so we have a 2 decimal place, 3 decimal place, and a 4 decimal place. So we just want to do this quickly. You first of all enter the numbers, and you know how to deal with it. Now after entering your numbers, you go to shift and you go to mode. Now when you go to shift and mode, you can see all this. We'll later give tutorials on all this, but this gives the 6 gives the standard numbers, the significance. And so now you need to go to 6, and when you go to 6, it's range from 0 to 9. So which one are you picking? So it asks you question. Now we want to go for the number 1, which is the I, and it's go to 2 decimal place. So when you go to 2, and this one is like this, and you go to equal sign, it runs for you only 2 decimal place. And this one will help you understand that when you are going for only 2 decimal place, let's look at this very well. See, we have 6, 9, and you look at the third number, whether it's up to 5 or more than 5, to carry 1 to the next 2 digit you are talking about. So that's automatically convert this, and this one will help you to even understand the conversions, how to write your decimal numbers in the decimal places. Now let's go to the next one, as gives us 3 decimal number place. So this one we're going to go 1, 2, 3, but since those 4, the next number is not up to 5, there will not be any carry forward. And so when you go to shift mode and a 6, and you pick 3, it gives this. It gives you the 3 number places because you couldn't carry any number from here. Now the last point we want to do is when you go to shift mode 6, and you pick the third one, which is the 4 digits place, 4, and you go to equal sign. Not equal sign, it gives you the answer direct. Let's also rank those because the next digits are below 5, so there will not be any carry forward to 8. So that's the end of tutorials on how to use fraction keys, and also converting fractions between mixed fraction to improper, improper to mixed fraction, and proper fraction to decimal. Any number that you want to do, you need those keys to do. So shift these keys will help you to be able to get your operations done. And so we have a shift fraction key gives mixed fraction, and only this gives a fraction key, and this is the convection key that will help you to get all your fractions and convections done. So we are ending today's tutorials, and in the next tutorial we are going to also treat something different that will help you. So you need to stay tuned. You haven't subscribed the channel, and make sure you subscribe, you watch, and you share with friends, and let's all learn something simple together. We are treating and dealing away all the mathphobians. As far as you have a calculator, you don't need to fear. We'll get deeper and understand more. All right, so stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe, share, give a comment. Let me know your thoughts under the comment section. All right, see you in the next tutorials. Bye-bye.